Well, it certainly feels like summer. What a setting, what an occasion. It's Munster Hurling Championship. It's Cork against Limerick, and it's almost showtime. Referee Sean Stack from the Parnell's Club in Dublin, just trying to separate the four men in the middle of the field, and away we go. Now, will we get a match that lives up to the occasion? It is Limerick in the first half to play down towards the Blackrock end, into the teeth of the wind. It's Cathal O'Neill, early touch, wrapped up, fouled, free in. An early statement of intent from the Munster and All-Ireland champions.
Yeah, and Cathal O'Neill now is one of the moving pieces for Limerick. Himself, Cian Lynch, David Reedy, they can move around, they switch between. Here we have Cian Lynch flicking the ball out to him and just attacking that, just a high hurley from Mark Coleman, free in, but positive start for Limerick, showing their intent early.
So Aaron Gillan, his 39th championship appearance, has done very little wrong in the championship so far and picks up where he left off against Tip a few weeks ago. So Limerick take an early lead. Patrick Collins, so much focus on his puck outs after his performance the last day, goes long all the way down into the Limerick full back line, won by Kyle Hayes, now Declan Hannon. It's all very neat and tidy from Limerick, and Hayes into the centre. They've left just two up top at the moment. Ethan Toomey, just his second championship start, surrounded by a swarm of Limerick men, lifted by Barry Nash and out through the side door to Cian Lynch. Lovely skill, but he ran down a blind alley. Cork, three of them waiting for him, and that's a free and a psychological victory for the home side.
Yeah, and that's terrific physicality from Cork. They wanted to bring it against Clare the last day. They started early, they showed their intent around the middle. If Limerick go too narrow, Cork are well capable of throwing in the tackles. Super turnover from the Corkmen.
So a chance here for Patrick Horgan, turned 36 last weekend. He is Cork's man for the big occasion. Sides level after 2 minutes, just in terms of matchups. Cork have sent Sean O'Donoghue with Aaron Gillan. Looks like Owen Downey will pick up Seamus Flanagan. And at the other end, Kyle Hayes back on Patrick Horgan, and Jermith Burns on Shamie Harnedy. We'll update you as the game goes on, as Limerick launch a diagonal ball looking for Gillan. Just caught in his heels by Sean O'Donoghue, and the Cork captain releases it to Tim O'Mahony, looking to play it over the head of Hayes at full stretch to Garrod Hegarty, standing on the halfway line. Lovely ball, just the way Flanagan wants it. Back in the team this evening. Can't get it under control though, poor first touch. Good recovery though by David Reedy, chasing down Rob Downey. Cork centre back does well. That ball though was just behind Ethan Toomey. Help arrives from Mark Coleman. Now a chance for Dara Fitzgibbon to stretch his legs. Just opens up in front of him. Fitzgibbon shortens the grip. Two in a row for Cork, and they lead for the first time.
And that's terrific defending from Cork. They wielded the Limerick pressure and they worked the ball out, but Dara Fitzgibbon is the last man Limerick want running at them through the centre. Great score from him.
Hit 4 points against Limerick up at the Gaelic grounds last summer. That game, of course, went all the way to the wire. Limerick escaping with a 1-point victory. Good puck out from Quaid. Picks out Cian Lynch, who has time to turn and head for goal. Garrod Hegarty, slack marking in the Cork defence, and Garrod Hegarty drills over the equaliser.
And we saw it in the first game against Waterford. Cork's narrow defending on puck outs. There's space either side for Nicky Quaid to hit as Garrod Hegarty picks up the space. Look at the space he's in. You've got to be careful. If you leave too much space, he's going to attack it for goals.
Another long puck out right down on top of the Cork forward line. It's Barrett, it's Harnedy! It's a goal! Shamie Harnedy with an absolute screamer. Well, Barrett picked him out and Harnedy gave Nicky Quaid no chance.
And that's what you got to do, Cork situation. You got to gamble. Super touch from Brian Hayes. Excellent break one and a fantastic goal.
Shamie Harnedy, one of the survivors from the 2013 All-Ireland final, fires in his 16th championship goal. And first blood to Cork. Here they come again. Decky Dalton, Ethan Toomey, bundled over by Cathal O'Neill. What a first 5 minutes we've had here in Cork City. The home side attacking Limerick from all angles.
And we said before the game, if Limerick have a weakness, it is direct running. Declan Dalton showing his wheels there. Super pass into Ethan Toomey. Cathal O'Neill, you know, his tackling was poor technique, but probably felt he was uncomfortable with him getting too close to goal. That Cork running is going to hurt Limerick if they keep it up.
Patrick Horgan filled his boots against Limerick 12 months ago with 114. That's his second of the evening. The All-Ireland champions have fallen 4 points behind. Nicky Quaid looking for one of the Green Giants. Falls to Will O'Donoghue. Cork trying to get men back to protect the central channel, but O'Donoghue was being fouled. Sean Stack has given the free.
And now a chance for Limerick to calm down and settle things. Just Will O'Donoghue, very patient. 2 Cork men up for the ball. Broke straight down to him, and that tug resulted in the free for Aaron Gillane. A chance to recover after that frenetic Cork period.
Well, they've conceded 1-1 without reply. And that's a second free for Aaron Gillane. We expected a frantic start, and that's exactly what we've got. Remember, Cork need a result here, some sort of a result to stay in the hunt. That ball runs all the way through to Harnedy. Well, he started really well, Shamie Harnedy, and that's a trademark score on the run. And when Harnedy plays well, Cork tend to play well also.
And that's the second time a Cork player has been unmarked on a long puck out for Limerick or for Cork. So Limerick men not tracking, they're not leaving the overload and paying the price.
Nicky Quaid again goes down this right-hand side, breaks in behind to Dara Fitzgibbon. Horgan is on the move. He's got the jump here on Barry Nash. Plenty of movement around him. Horgan over his shoulder and over the bar. Patrick Horgan rolls back the years. His third point.
Yeah, and the whispers about what is Horgan giving this team from play off the left, over the shoulder. It feels like he's done that a million times.
Well, it looks like Cork have come to play. The lead now out to 5. Will O'Donoghue caught there by Harnedy. Referee says play on. That middle third already turning into quite the war zone as Hegarty looks to feed Gillane. Sean O'Donoghue is with him, joined at the hip. Covering in behind brilliantly there was Downey, and down the line by Decky Dalton. Here's Dara Fitzgibbon. Great big gaps appearing in the Limerick defence. Chance for Alan Connolly, smothered, and Limerick's scramble defence arrived just in the nick of time. Well, Cork's game plan is opening up Limerick's back line in the first 8 minutes here.
I just have to comment on Sean O'Donoghue's defending on Aaron Gillane there. Direct ball from Gearóid Hegarty in, and what a super touch. But here we've Alan Connolly and Barry Nash fighting for the ball. And just a late hurley in. Not much in it from O'Leary. I thought he was competing for the ball, but look at the chance here for Connolly, a man on fire for scoring goals in the Munster Championship. It's at least 4 times now in the first 8 minutes that Limerick have left unmarked players in their own half. Very uncharacteristic, but it is exactly the strength the Cork need to exploit from their own game.
And what a block that was from Sean Finn to deny Alan Connolly the shooting chance as up steps Diarmaid Byrnes. He's blown hot and cold with the freeze so far in the Munster Championship. But when he's in the groove, there are very few better. He's missed the first one. And this was something that was a talking point in the build-up, Seamus.
Yeah, unfortunately for Diarmaid, he has, particularly this year in the Munster Championship.
So a let-off for Cork. Again, the ball played into space in front of the speed merchants in that Cork full forward line. Connolly, back to Shane Barrett. Oh, he struck it beautifully. What a score from Shane Barrett. Well, Cork keep it simple and make it look really easy.
Yeah, they're pulling Limerick's shape all over the place. Alan Connolly had 30 yards of space to run into and a great pop off the shoulder. Great score from Barrett.
Well, right now, Cork playing Brian Hayes at full forward, in there on Dan Morrissey, flanked by Horgan and Alan Connolly. Declan Hannon goes looking for Gillan again, the spearhead of this Limerick attack. Takes it down acrobatically, but fires it high and wide. A second wide for Limerick. First for Gillan. Quick puck out from Patrick Collins. Looking to mix it up. Harnedy again gets there in front of Jeremy Burns. Rolls it inside towards Horgan. Fitzgibbon has raced inside. Horgan is going to go for his own score. And this one just off target, but Fitzgibbon just sprinted by and demanded the pass.
The first thing I saw, Darragh Fitzgibbon blazing through the middle. Horgan didn't give the pass. It was on.
Limerick goes short. Dan Morrissey. David Reedy unable to get there ahead of his man, Niall O'Leary, who has time to look up and pick out the pass. He's going long for Connolly. Cork looking to go back to front as quick as they can. Ball breaks kindly, and they are razor sharp. Darragh Fitzgibbon, who had joined the attack, pops over his second.
Yeah, he lets Will O'Donoghue know all about it. Darragh Fitzgibbon has been everywhere. He's one of their leaders. He's their talisman in the middle of the field. Getting him involved early has to be a good thing for Cork.
But Cork have outscored Limerick 1-5 to a point in the last 6 minutes. They have blitzed the All-Ireland champions in that spell. And they've just won another free. Well, this is what the big home crowd came to see, Seamus.
Yeah, and this is the area of the field where they did very well against Clare. Between the two 65s, they put in tackles, they won turnovers, they won frees. So if Limerick are going to play congested, and they have been throwing the ball around very short in the first two rounds against Clare and Tip, I think Cork can make them pay today.
So first chance for Declan Dalton to set his sights on the Limerick goal. And that is a flawless finish. Pointed 3 frees against Clare. His eye in here inside the first 13 minutes. And Cork extend their lead. Five in a row for the Rebels. We await Limerick's response. That's a heavy hit from O'Mahony on Tom Morrissey. Fair and square, played forward by Decky Dalton. The foot race is on between Connolly and Dan Morrissey, won by the Limerick fullback. Out to Kyle Hayes. Now Cathal O'Neill wearing 15 but playing a lot deeper. Cork crowd felt he threw that ball. Hayes rides the tackle and drives on. Racing after him is Mark Coleman. Gillan makes the decoy run. Here's Flanagan. Jamie Flanagan with the point, but that was all about Kyle Hayes.
Shades of the 2022 round robin performance in this same stadium from Kyle Hayes. A galloping run down the centre, opened him up. Could have been a goal if Flanagan turned inside.
What a run from the 4-time All-Star Kyle Hayes. Limerick hit back. Another really good delivery. Here's Brian Hayes. Hooked, goes the second time, and Quaid pushes it up and over the bar. Well, they were hunting a second goal, and Brian Hayes very nearly got it.
Yeah, it's super save from Nicky Quaid. That's the second effort. But Barry Nash, second to the ball. Cork are just beating their men, all ends up. Ball into space. It's very uncharacteristic of the Limerick defensive shape to be this loose.
Well, it's champagne hurling from Cork in the first 14 minutes. Shock and awe, and here they come again. It's wave after wave of Cork attacks. Shane Barrett, not long out of under 20, full of running. Shot blocked down though. And Kyle Hayes, who else there to pick up the pieces? Well, Hayes is doing everything he knows, along with Sean Finn there, to get Limerick going.
So great hurling in the first 15 minutes of this game. Mark Coleman, what a grab. An inspirational grab from him. But then look, Kyle Hayes coming out, just a rugby tackle from Connolly, but the block from Finn. Finn using a 37-inch hurley for that exact purpose. Blocks, blocks, blocks. Super defending.
Cork have had 6 different scorers already, believe it or not. The threats are all across the forward line as Barry Nash drills this free down towards Gillan. Sean O'Donoghue may have lost that in the sun. Mark Coleman mopping up, and Dara Fitzgibbon available and ready. Niall O'Leary likewise. Nobody picking up Shamie Harnedy out on this left-hand side. He's got all the time he needs to weigh up his options, and maybe he had too much time on the run. That flies wide.
So Limerick
a second miss from Cork.
The Limerick are trying to push up to cover the midfield, and because of that, Diarmaid Byrnes is exposed on an overlap. There's something going wrong somewhere for Limerick.
Well, you can be sure the men with the master plan, John Kiley and Paul Kinnerk, are trying to work it out as Shamie Flanagan moves to the wing to try and set up Gillan. Looks to return the compliment to Flanagan. Breaks to David Reedy. That's very close. Umpires confer, and the score is given. Well, there wasn't much in it, but David Reedy looks to have squeezed that over. Now, Sean Stack is heading in to his umpires, perhaps to just have a quick word and to make sure. What did you think, Seamus?
Definite score every time. I know, without my bias on, no, it did look like from this angle in the media box, it looked like it snuck inside the post. It's just a pity to slow the game down. Oh, he's talking about something else. It's not the score. He's talking to players.
Well, if nothing else, it just gives everybody a bit of a breather. So the score is given. Perhaps the umpires wanted to talk about an incident between Owen Downey and Seamus Flanagan. Here we can see what caught their attention. Well, off the ball, it was a good old-fashioned wrestling match.
Yep, again, the defender doesn't want the yellow card in that situation. Seamus Flanagan and Aaron Gillan working very hard to retain possession inside the full forward line. Did very well in that sense, just to get a shot for David Reedy. So waiting on the referee to give us an indication of what he's going here.
Well, he's heading to the Limerick bench, and he's just given Paul Kinnerk a yellow card, and it looks like Pat Ryan is going to get one too. So obviously there's been quite a bit said on the line. It's been picked up by the fourth official, and he's reported Paul Kinnerk, the Limerick coach, and Pat Ryan, the Cork manager, and now John Kiley and Pat Ryan are exchanging views as well. Game restarts. Plenty to talk about on and off the field. It's been some first quarter. Cork setting the pace. 7 points in front. Will O'Donoghue knocking it over towards Gillan's corner, but he wasn't there. Sean O'Donoghue was. And now Mark Coleman. That's a loose pass. Sits up nicely for Tom Morrissey, looking to punish that Cork mistake. It's a first of the evening for big Tom Morrissey from Ahan.
Yeah, and Tom Morrissey with that uncharacteristic black helmet, it's even hard to, he's hard to spot him. He's normally in his yellow, but that was a very, very loose pass from Mark Coleman across the middle. Surprised that he'd even chanced that.
This is a massive game for Pat Ryan. Defeat for Cork, and their interest in this year's championship is over. Would be the second season in a row they failed to get out of the Munster round robin series. They just cannot afford to let that happen. Here's Ethan Toomey, gives it everything he has and nails it. Well, the man from St Finbarrs, on his second start in the championship, delivers a terrific score.
That's a super strike from Ethan Toomey, a man who did so much right for them against Clare in his first championship action. Good for his confidence.
Nicky Quaid picks out David Reedy. He's been knocked over just as he prepared to turn and play the pass. Ethan Toomey, I think, playing the percentages there. But despite the fact Limerick won those first 2 games, Seamus, the consensus would be they left a lot of room for improvement, and Cork have really gone after their weaknesses here in the first quarter.
I don't even know that they've gone after their weaknesses. I think they've really focused on their strengths. I can see a number of times the Cork players from puck outs are just going up to break the ball down to their numbers in front. I think they're playing smart hurling, they're playing aggressive running off the shoulder. I think they're focusing on what makes them good, and it's trouble in Limerick.
Certainly is in the first 20 minutes. You never really know what you're going to get with Cork, but they have delivered in style so far. Now, Diarmaid Byrnes is taking a long time over this free. Home crowd, as you can hear, not happy. But he's trying to make sure, he's trying to get back on track. Byrnes, and it's a second wide. Well, whether it's technique or his process, something is just not working. Now, off the ball, there's a Limerick man down.
Some altercation between Sean Finn and Declan Dalton. Referee over talked to his linesman.
Well, that's Liam Gordon from Galway, the linesman, that's having a word with Sean Stack. Sean Finn is the Limerick player on the ground. Well, that happened not quite at the opposite end of the field to where we were watching, but close enough. So now the question is, what did the linesman see? What did he report to Sean Stack?
Yeah, so this could be a pivotal moment here. We talked about discipline on Cork's side for the last 2 weeks.
Well,
Ref is talking to team doctor for Limerick, James Ryan.
Yeah, they had a man sent off, of course, against Waterford.
Oh, it's Kyle Hayes, that's not Sean Finn, excuse me.
And Clare. So Kyle Hayes is the man on the ground. Sean Stack, I think, is looking to get the injured player moved off the field so game can restart. But as you said, the real shame is that it breaks up the flow, breaks up the momentum.
From a Cork perspective, Cork had all the energy. They had all the momentum in this first half. They'd be looking to exploit the win that they have.
Well, this is interesting. Damien Cahalane is being readied. Now, he was the man who was sent off against Waterford. There was a lot of talk in the build-up that he might even start this game. He'd be seen as an ideal candidate to play in the Cork full back line on a night like this. But Kyle Hayes is up and good to go, and Pat Ryan is going to take out Owen Downey and bring in Damien Cahalane.
You have to imagine the yellow card for Owen Downey has come into Pat Ryan's thinking there. You have to imagine it after the previous 2 weeks.
So Owen Downey's evening ends after less than 23 minutes. No action taken by Sean Stack, and away we go again. Another long delivery right down the middle. Decky Dalton's attempted shot, half blocked. Racing back is Sean Finn, tiptoeing along the end line, and he was pushed and fouled. Sean Stack has given the free against the Cork man there, Shane Barrett, for the push on Finn, who has looked every inch a 4-time All-Star, Seamus, so far.
Yeah, but Decky Dalton, if he keeps gambling on those breaks, Cork will pay dividends. But what a hook from Will O'Donoghue as he was shaping up to take the score. Limerick are still one of the preeminent defensive teams in the country, so it's still hard to score on them.
Diarmaid Byrnes with the free. Tim O'Mahony gambled there. Ball spilled out of his hand, and Tom Morrissey has won the free. Well, it really is a game of fine margins. O'Mahony makes the catch. Cork have a springboard to drive on. Instead, it's a Limerick free.
And unfortunately, that's the second free that Ethan Toomey's after giving away. It's Cork's discipline. They really need to keep it in, because frees are keeping Limerick in touch with them with any real hope in this first half, because there's nothing from play flowing for Limerick.
So Aaron Gillan from Patrick's Well against the wind into the Blackrock end. Point number 3 for Gillan. Just keeps Limerick in touch. Collins' puck out, runs through to Barrett, so quick off the mark. Again, there's nobody picking up Harnedy. And easy for Shamey Harnedy, who really has the run of the place off those Cork deliveries.
Yeah, and it's just pace again on the break from Barrett, and he picks out Seamus Harnedy. The levels that they've gotten to Cork, they're stressing Limerick's defence at all available opportunities.
That's a goal and 2 for Harnedy. Back to mind the house is Sean O'Donoghue. Brian Hayes. Ball breaks to Declan Hannon. Shoveled away to Cathal O'Neill. Runners making their moves all across the attack. Will O'Donoghue goes long in towards Shamey Flanagan. Wins the first battle with Damien Cahalane. Angle is getting tighter and tighter, and Flanagan has come up with an outrageous score. Tight to the corner. Cahalane breathing down his neck, and Flanagan goes and does this for a spectacular second point.
Yeah, you can't say enough about the delivery of ball from Will O'Donoghue in the middle of the field. Exceptional ball, and what a finish from Flanagan.
Short from Cork, and it breaks down on the way out. It's Gillane who intercepts. One thing on his mind. Gillane out to Flanagan. Back of the net from Shamey Flanagan. The Munster and All-Ireland champions hit back in style. All it took was one Cork mistake, and Shamey Flanagan makes them pay.
Yeah, how quick Gillane turns defence to attack. Spots Shamey Flanagan, one touch, bang. Super work from those two. Gillane and Flanagan are probably the best combo of forwards over the last 5 years in terms of teamwork and playing together. That man loves it, and that's why he kept faith with Seamus Flanagan.
You can see what it meant to John Kiely. You can hear all around the stadium what it means to Limerick. Seamus Flanagan's 7th championship goal has brought Limerick right back into this match. Well, Cork have set the pace. They continue to do so, but Limerick now, will that kick-start the comeback? Great catch by Alan Connolly. Here's Shane Barrett. What a response from Cork. Shane Barrett from Blarney hits right back. And it looks like we're getting a Munster championship match for the ages.
And the conventional wisdom was, don't go down the middle against Limerick, don't go long and direct. Cork are turning this on its head. Seamus Harnedy has been absolutely immense. Off the shoulder running from Barrett. This is a Cork performance for the year.
Cork show their character. They just conceded the goal at the other end, and they hit right back. Here's Dara Fitzgibbon. Clips the post. Cork in full flight, in the flow state, and Dara Fitzgibbon oh so close to pushing out that lead just a little bit further. 3 wides for the home side. They've put 13 scores on the board in 27 minutes. It has been some performance so far.
5 seconds between those two goals. It tells you the 1 minute and 5 seconds between those goals. Sorry, it shows you the pace of the hurling that's on show here. And just as we said, it'll calm down, isn't it?
Typical. Well, John Kiely has seen it all. He's done it all. And right now, his team are in a battle. Cut in nicely. Up goes Kyle Hayes, but there was holding. Spotted by Sean Stack. Cork get the free. There's so many targets when the ball drops out of the sky. Patrick Horgan wanted to take that quickly. Not going to happen.
It's always worth a go, isn't it?
Well, he's in his 17th championship season, Patrick Horgan. He knows all the tricks of the trade. He'll have to take the point here, but it has restored a 7-point cushion for Cork. The underdogs, 7 in front. That was a super catch by Rob Downey. Well, he's built like a basketballer, really, the Cork number 6. He's so good in the air. And a lot of people wondering how he'd do stepping in for Kieran Joyce tonight. He's done just fine so far.
And I find this interesting because Cian Lynch is playing centre forward, and Cian Lynch has given Mark Coleman fits playing at centre forward. He's given Kieran Joyce trouble playing at centre forward. What a catch by Rob Downey over Limerick's talisman.
So Downey's catch, the free for Declan Dalton. It's on its way towards the City goal, and it's sailed over with yards to spare. Dec Dalton, 2 from 2. It's been some response from Cork. They've hit 1-2 without reply since Shamie Flanagan's goal. Cathal O'Neill on the run, shortened the grip, but didn't strike it cleanly. And with less than 5 minutes to go in the first half here, Seamus Hickey, it's Cork that are asking the majority of the hard questions.
Yeah, here we have Mark Coleman.
Well, are Cork inviting trouble? O'Mahony gets them out of trouble. Ball driven forward by Sean O'Donoghue. One out in front. Connolly, Shane Barrett looking for a second goal. Nicky Quaid delivers another big save. Well, he's been beaten twice already. Doesn't happen very often against Cork. Denies them a third goal. But it's another warning for Limerick. Not a great first touch by Ethan Toomey here. He's been hassled and harried, and he's won his free. Well, Garrod Hegarty does not agree.
Sean Stack has been very consistent in his application here. I think he's calling the fouls as he sees them. You've got Ethan Toomey going on, yeah, Will O'Donoghue comes in. Unless you win the ball in that scenario, it's a free. So, well called. I think he's having a great game at the moment, Sean Stack.
Well, here's that save again from Nicky Quaid, who has been busier than usual in this first half.
He's been under siege. Cork have absolutely gone for the jugular early.
Declan Dalton standing just outside his own 45-metre line. He's a former goalkeeper. He has got a ferocious belt of the sliotar. He's drilled that away for a fourth Cork wide. Cork playing with the aid of the breeze in the first half. Right now they've got an 8-point cushion. Ball scooped up by Dara Fitzgibbon, looking for a Harnedy, knocked off it by Will O'Donoghue. Cork crowd baying for a free, no whistle. Instead, O'Donoghue links up with Tom Morrissey. Limerick looking to build out through the lines. Here's their anchor man, Declan Hannon. Just 2 up top, and both of them beaten in the air by Rob Downey. Another great catch. Ethan Toomey with the show and go to Cian Lynch. Diagonal ball, looking for Horgan. Taken out of the clouds by Jeremy Burns. Well, it's end to end. It's been relentless for the last 33 minutes, more or less. Hegarty crowded out by Connolly, Barrett, Coleman. They're all after him.
I'd interested to see what Sean Stack does here. Cork are really putting it up to Limerick. They're really getting in their faces. If you're Cork, that's what you need to do to knock them off.
Well, it's all started to kick off. Sean Stack is adopting a watching brief policy, I think. Just waiting for things to settle down. Well, it means so much at stake. He's called out number 9 is Dara Fitzgibbon. In fact, it's Mark Coleman he wants to talk to. And a yellow for the Cork wing back. The Cork have brought substance and style in this first half, and there's another late hit. But we talked about the discipline, Seamus, and it is a fine line.
But so it is a fine line because they're walking it well at the moment in terms of fronting up to Limerick, showing their aggression. yes, they're giving Limerick frees, and it's Limerick's main source of scores. But for me, you know, they're rattling Limerick at the moment.
So a yellow for Declan Dalton for that hit. He joins Mark Coleman in the book, who was his name was taken just a few seconds earlier, and now Aaron Gillan as the first half draws to a close. Tight to the line. Aaron Gillan needs it. Limerick need it. It's Limerick's first score for almost 10 minutes. It's Gillan's fourth, and it just gets that scoreboard moving again.
And it's one thing, I suppose, in the last 10 minutes, the influence of the breeze, playing into that breeze, the amount the ball is hanging up for Limerick. So much of what they've been trying to do of direct ball to the full forward line is hung up. That breeze will be a factor in the second half.
Patrick Collins from Ballinhassig again. He's looking for one of the pylons in that forward line. Ethan Toomey, nice touch, spins, but doesn't score. It's a fifth Cork wide. It was a really good chance for Ethan Toomey.
Yeah, Limerick's set up on the breaks is just not good at the front. Cork are men at the front of the break, and that's statistically where you're going to get on that ball.
Nicky Quaid from Effin picks out Aaron Gillan. Lovely skill. Pops it back to Tom Morrissey, who was just sitting in the pocket, who lets rip. It's a Tom Morrissey special, his second, and it just helps to reel Cork back in, and really, you could call it a 2-point swing.
What leadership from Gillan, how tough he made it to win that ball against Mark Coleman, and Tom Morrissey has been consistently one of Limerick's best forwards in the first half.
It's another identical Cork puck out, and it works out well for Barrett once more. Well, he's living on breaks, Shane Barrett. He's one of 3, and Cork want action taken for the foul.
Yeah, Sean Finn now looks to be going down, grabbing his hamstring. The ref wants to talk to him about the pullback.
Sean Finn looks to be in some difficulty. He's just been booked as well. It's a double whammy for him. Remember, missed the All-Ireland run-in last year after suffering a cruciate knee ligament injury. No doubt there was a pull back on Shane Barrett. What a first half he's had. Yeah,
Shane Barrett, again, it's his running threat has been evident for the first 2 games against Waterford, against Clare. It's just getting him consistently on ball. But Limerick have to do something to stop the break to the front, because they've been beaten 9 times out of 10.
So John Kiley has to shake things up here. Sean Finn is unable to continue, and it's Fergal O'Connor from Effin who's coming into the white heat of Munster Championship here at Super Value Páirc Uí Chaoimh. We're almost at the end of the 3 added minutes. Routine free for Patrick Horgan. He's up to 5 points now and counting, and the Cork lead back to 7.
And we spoke about it before the show about Limerick's depth in the full back line not being where it was because of the injuries that they have sustained. Fergal O'Connor, good young talent, but he's going to be under pressure now against this Cork team.
Ethan Toomey didn't really need that pass in hindsight. 3 or 4 Limerick players lying in wait, but ground hurling, and the ball squirts into Horgan, taking on all comers. Well, there's 2 Limerick men down in the centre of the field. Patrick Horgan went down as well. So quite a bit to digest here.
Dalton threw himself in to win that ball on the ground, to get that. Here we go as he fires himself in. Seamus Hardy, just clash. Yeah, and they were both just running a collision course. And then Hoggy just to win that ball and take on Limerick defenders, win that free. Super leadership from the man from the Glen.
Well, both Declan Dalton and Seamie Harnedy had eyes on the ball. Dalton got there just before his teammate, but they've collided. Patrick Horgan has drawn the foul off Barry Nash. Cork hoping that everybody is still in one piece.
those knocks as a player, they have an impact. So Decky Dalton and Seamus Hardy are both after rattling each other. They're 2 blows to absorb in 70 minutes of a championship match.
Well, both of them thankfully back on their feet. Both of them look like men who will take a couple of minutes just to gather themselves. And Patrick Horgan takes care of business. And his 6th point of the first half signals the half-time whistle sounding. That noise you can